is not a Barrios.
Right.
You know, Shakur got a jab. Shakur got head movement. Shakur got defense. Shakur knows range. Shakur have good legs. So I look at that fight like it's not gonna be as a competitive fight like everybody think, because if Ryan get careless, he's gonna get countered all day.
Terence Crawford isn't just picking a winner, he's predicting a masterclass that could leave the world stunned. When the pound-for-pound king breaks down Shakur's surgical precision against Ryan's power, the conversation shifts from a competitive scrap to a tactical execution.
Garcia is flat-footed. Shakur Stevenson is a cheetah in and out, man. I mean, he's been so successful from the Olympics to moving up in weight divisions. Power's not going to be enough for him. And if you're not going to be a volume puncher, like Ryan Garcia clearly is not a volume puncher, then how are you going to beat Shakur Stevenson? How are you going to be able to compete with that in-and-out southpaw style where he doesn't engage with you? The timing, the confidence, the momentum. Shakur is cut from the cloth of Floyd Mayweather Jr., Andre Ward, and these greats that don't get touched, they don't get hit. The defensive geniuses, Pernell Whitaker. I mean, these are big names, but Shakur's cut from that cloth, man. He's special.
Sergio Mora takes it a step further, warning that Ryan isn't just facing a fighter, but a defensive ghost who traces his lineage back to the untouchable greatness of Floyd Mayweather. But Garcia isn't backing down from the legends. He just lit the fuse on this rivalry by tossing aside the excuses and demanding a shot at the throne. Shakur didn't blink, firing back a cold confirmation that this is exactly the kind of high-stakes war he's been waiting for. Shakur didn't hesitate to pour gasoline on the fire, instantly signaling that he's ready to hunt Ryan down at 140 pounds and settle the score once and for all, while mocking Ryan and demanding the same strict testing protocols Bill Haney once fought for to ensure a legacy without shadows. Ryan didn't back down, firing back that winning at 140 was always part of the plan, and warning Shakur that his scared accusations of steroid use are bordering on defamation. Shakur immediately laughed off the legal threats, dismissing the suing tactics as he doubled down on the 140-pound challenge and called Ryan a chump for trying to silence his opinion.
Stylistically, I mean, from what we just saw the other night, Ryan really working behind his jab, that fast twitch, the rhythm, him using his footwork, making Shakur have to go get him at times. And then it's going to be times where he's going to go get Shakur. I see it being a good-ass fight, though. It'll be a good fight. It's just, you know, do we really get that fight at 44? And then you know, what the stipulations going to be like and all of that shit. I think that's a good fight if they make it happen. Ryan got speed, power. Shakur got speed, intelligence, IQ. You know what I'm saying? So it'll be a good one. I don't know if he can come up with something for Shakur, but it'll be a good one.
Greg Hackett shifts the focus to the high-speed chess match unfolding, noting that while Ryan's fast twitch rhythm could force Shakur into deep water, the real mystery lies in whether the weight and stipulations will allow this explosive collision to even happen.
I mean, for me, I think whoever takes the chance and say fuck it and go out there and fight, let your hands go, get inside, move your head, go to the body, work behind your jab, walks away with the victory. You gotta rough Shakur up. You can't let Shakur just be comfortable. You let him be comfortable, bro, he just start doing what he want, bro. You start having a good time in there. You know, you can't let him do that. Even if you're not all the way inside, you gotta be putting on the kind of pressure that's making him think like, oh, he might get ready to swing. He might be ready to do this, or I don't want to get hit with that. You know what I mean? So you gotta really go in there and try to get Shakur out of there. You gotta be willing to lose an eye to gain a win. You know what I mean?
To dismantle the defensive wizard, Hackett warns that Ryan must be willing to lose an eye to gain a win, suggesting that only relentless, uncomfortable pressure and a brutal body attack can stop Shakur from turning the ring into his own personal playground.
I think take a page out of Tank book, boxing, a little bit, go to that body. And at the end of the combinations, you know what I mean, just at the end of the combinations, get back to your jab or double your shots, because Ryan gonna be right there. You know what I mean, for when you done punching. I don't know. Shakur just a better fighter all the way around, without the power and all of that. He's just a better boxer.
Despite the physical dangers, Greg ultimately leans toward the pure craft of the better boxer, predicting that Shakur's superior IQ and doubling up on his shots will neutralize Ryan's power and keep him one step ahead until the final bell.
Fascinated, because now they're talking about him and Ryan Garcia. I am fascinated to watch that fight, because Shakur's a different animal. Ryan looked amazing in that fight. I mean, he looked amazing. I mean, he looked so fast, and it was a beautiful fight to watch. But that's an interesting fight. I like that fight. Shakur and him, I like that fight a lot. Because Shakur's just a different animal. You're dealing with a whole different kind of skill set.
Yeah, Shakur. Listen.
Joe Rogan is completely hooked on the idea of this matchup, admitting that while Ryan looked like a lightning-fast superstar in his last outing, Shakur represents a terrifyingly different level of competition. Rogan believes we are about to see a clash of worlds where Ryan's explosive speed meets a different animal, with a skill set so rare it could redefine everything we think we know about the division.
Listen, I went down to camp before he fought Teofimo, and I seen his focus and the level of, intense training he was doing. And I said, I don't know it all, but I know Shakur gonna whoop Teofimo's ass. I tweeted that way before the fight, and he went out there and did it. Ryan looked spectacular in this fight for what it was. I don't think Barrios came to fight. Ryan was boxing great. The jab was working, the overhand right was working, and he looks out at me at the end and say, "You see my jab?" I said, "Man, it was working." That jab was beautiful, because we're not used to seeing Ryan jab.
Right.
Or
his right hand.
Or boxing, for that matter.
Mm-hmm.
He was boxing beautiful.
Beautiful.
And I commend him on that. Like, he aced it, but when it comes to Shakur is not a Barrios.
Terence Crawford isn't just watching from the sidelines, he's calling his shots with the chilling confidence of a man who's seen this movie before. While he gives Ryan credit for a beautiful job against Barrios, he warns that Shakur is a completely different monster than anyone Garcia has faced recently. Crawford has seen the focus in Shakur's camp firsthand, and he's convinced that once the bell rings, the technical gap will turn this highly anticipated clash into a one-sided masterclass.
On it all day.
If he gets careless. I think he'll fight very different than he fought with Barrios. I think
he's got to.
Barrios just couldn't keep up with the speed. I mean, Ryan's speed is extraordinary. He relies on it a lot, but I mean, that's not a knock. That's just like, if you had it, everybody should rely on that. Man, that
Shakur's
speed
not
is
slow.
Nuts. Shakur's a different animal.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, a lot of people thought Devin Haney was different, though, right? A lot of people thought Devin Haney was going to give him real problems. When he dropped Devin early with a left hook, everybody was like, oh, this is different. I wish he didn't have a positive drug test in that fight, because that tainted everything.
Yeah. They know each other far too well.
The pound-for-pound king points to a dangerous trap for Ryan, noting that while his extraordinary speed worked wonders against Barrios, it won't save him from being countered all day if he gets careless. Crawford and Rogan agree that the ghost of the Devin Haney fate still lingers, but they argue that Shakur's surgical precision is a different animal entirely. The tension builds as they question if Ryan's power can even find a target that moves with such defensive genius.
Far too well. I think him and Devin fought each other the most out of all of them. You know, Shakur and Ryan fought as well, which Shakur won all the times that they fought. But I just think, you know, him and Devin, the history of it, Devin came in there overconfident. Ryan, you know, been juiced up, you know, added a little whatever it did. But, you know, you can't take away from him landing the punches that he was landing. You can't take away from the performance that, you know, he was doing. But
history often repeats itself in the ring, and Crawford reminds us that Shakur and Ryan have a long, storied rivalry that dates back to their days as kids. Even though Ryan looked spectacular in his latest win, Crawford can't ignore the fact that Shakur has already beaten him every single time they've shared the canvas. It's a psychological edge that might be impossible to break, leaving fans wondering if Ryan can finally solve a puzzle that has haunted him since the amateurs.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he got the Rolly unification fight. You know, he lost to Rolly.
Right.
He got that fight that he can, you know, try to avenge in a unification fight.
Rolly looked great in that fight.
He got Devin in a unification fight. He got Shakur in a spectacular fight. So Ryan's in a great position right now.
If Gervonta comes back, he's got that rematch.
I don't think Gervonta is going to fight him without having those type of clause.
The rehydration,
you know?
clause?
Yeah, bring him down, and you got to do this, and you got to do that. So
that's crazy. Those clauses are crazy.
Yeah.
You can't weigh more than X when you get into the off with that.
That's like with me and Canelo. I'm like, man, listen.
Looking at the landscape of the division, Crawford sees Ryan in a spectacular position with massive unification fights on the horizon, but the shadow of the rehydration clause remains the ultimate deal breaker. He slams those restrictive contracts as crazy, arguing that for a fight of this magnitude to be real, both warriors need to be at their absolute best. The suspense grows as the world waits to see if these two stars can finally agree on terms and step into the fire without any excuses holding them back.
I think he wiped the floor with him. You know, I don't think Ryan gonna be able to hit Shakur like Barrios. Barrios was right there to be hit. Barrios was too slow. Barrios didn't have no game plan. He followed them the whole fight. And Shakur is not gonna be that fighter in there to be hit on. It's just simple.
When it comes down to the actual exchange of leather, Crawford is brutally honest. He expects Shakur to wipe the floor with Ryan. He points out that Barrios was a slow, stationary target with no real game plan, making Ryan look better than he might actually be against an elite tactician. Shakur simply won't be there to be hit, and Crawford believes once Ryan realizes his power shots are hitting nothing but air, the mental collapse will be inevitable.
We think that he's going to have a lot of confidence, but at the same time, if he's going up with a fighter like Shakur, it's going to be different because they've been in the ring with each other many a times as kids, and he's going to have that edge mentally over Ryan, even going in the ring, set aside his skill set. So I just think mentally, physically, and emotionally, Shakur is going to be here compared to Ryan. Not just because he's my brother, it's because they've been in the ring with each other, and he never defeated Shakur as an amateur. So what makes him think he's going to defeat him?
Beyond the physical tools, Crawford believes the mental warfare is already won because Shakur has owned the edge over Ryan since they were children. It's not just about brotherly loyalty, it's about a proven track record of dominance that Ryan has never been able to overcome in any version of their career. If he couldn't find a way to win as an amateur, Crawford asks the chilling question that every boxing fan is now debating. What on earth makes him think he can do it now?
I like Shakur. Just a better fighter. Shakur Stevenson, he's a great fighter. Ryan Garcia is a talented fighter. It's a difference.
Big difference.
Shakur Stevenson, you could pick him up, put him in anywhere ever in history, and get guys from 126 to 140. I'm not gonna say 47 yet, because there's some killers at 47. He probably be a little small for 47. I don't think he could beat guys like Terence Crawford or Ray Leonard at 47. I'm not gonna do that. I want to be fair with my praise. But you could put him anywhere from 126 to 140 pounds, and he hold his own with anybody. With his fundamentals, with his dedication, with his IQ, with his physical gifts, with his ability to read punches, with his jabs. He's not weak. He's physically strong. His all-around game, his pedigree. He can hold his own with anybody from 126 to 140. I'm not saying beat everybody, but he will hold his own with anybody. You can't do that with Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia is a talented fighter. He has some things that stand out to you, but his overall package is not as good as Shakur.
Coach Breadman isn't just looking at the next fight, he's looking at the history books, claiming Shakur is the kind of rare talent you could drop into any era between 126 and 140 pounds, and he'd hold his own against the absolute best. While Ryan Garcia is undoubtedly talented, Breadman argues there is a big difference between being a flashy fighter and having the complete elite package that Stevenson brings to the table. It's a bold statement that sets the stage for a clash where Ryan isn't just fighting a man, but a pedigree that spans generations.
I think he showed a better defense, but that was against Mario Barrios. That's not against Shakur Stevenson, bro. That's a different, different level of fighter. And I'm saying this respectfully. I think Mario is a good fighter, but he's not in Shakur's league in terms of talent. Shakur is super sharp. He's not a knockout puncher, but he hits you sharp enough to put you in your place where you can't just go to him. He tames you with his power. He's a good body puncher. He's accurate. It's a different fight. Now, sure.
The trainer acknowledges that Ryan showed improved defense in his last outing, but he quickly warns that looking good against Mario Barrios is a world away from trying to survive in the ring with a super sharp technician like Shakur. Barrios is a solid pro, but in Breadman's eyes, he simply isn't in the same league when it comes to the pure, untouchable talent that Stevenson possesses. Shakur might not be known as a one-punch knockout artist, but he hits with a clinical accuracy that tames his opponents and forces them to stay in their place.
You have to be careful with Ryan. You know, sometimes southpaws don't see a left hook. He's gonna have to be careful. You know, Ryan could clip him. You know, definitely could hurt him. But I think Shakur beats him.
Even with his high praise for the champion, Breadman admits there is a chilling what-if factor because of Ryan's equalizer, that signature lightning-fast left hook. He warns that even a defensive wizard like Shakur has to be perfect for every second of every round, because one moment of carelessness against a southpaw killer like Garcia could end in disaster. It's the ultimate high-stakes gamble where Shakur must navigate a minefield of power just to prove his superiority. This high-stakes rivalry has moved past social media talk and into the realm of a modern-day classic. Whether it's Shakur's cheetah-like defensive wizardry or Ryan's explosive fast twitch power, the boxing world is divided on who actually leaves the ring with the belt. With both fighters now seemingly agreeing to scrap the catchweight excuses and settle it at 140 pounds, we're looking at a legacy-defining war that could prove once and for all if pure IQ can truly neutralize raw, game-changing speed. Do you think Ryan's power is enough to crack the code of a defensive genius like Shakur Stevenson? Can Shakur truly wipe the floor with a fighter as fast and confident as the version of Ryan we saw against Barrios? Is the amateur history between these two still a factor, or has Ryan evolved enough to finally flip the script on his rival? We want to hear your breakdown. Who do you have winning this massive showdown, and does it end in a knockout or a decision? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and stay tuned for more expert breakdowns and fight updates just like this.